What is happening? It's Remarkable. I'm bringing you a review on the new MLG Mad Catz controller, which I think is a huge improvement over basically any controller I think you can get. Um, this first part, what you're seeing here is this is my default Xbox 360 controller, which I've normally been using. I'm just showing you the how slow, like if you notice, look how slow it looks on the ground and how it moves side to side. It kind of bumps into things because the movement's not so as smooth. And rainbow looking on the ground, I guess, isn't as big of a problem, but in Call of Duty, it's obviously a huge problem. And I know I think about 90% of Xbox controllers have this slow turn, and if like for there I scoped in just because I have to push so hard to look down that it scopes in. So you may be playing with no slow right now, slow turn, and you might not even know it. And so here is what the same sensitivity looks like on the MLG controller. As you see there, it's on 6. This is the same sensitivity, and just look how much faster it is and look how much smoother it is. As I look side to side and just look down straight up and straight down, you notice it's a lot faster, it's a lot smoother. There's none of that slow turn that you just saw on the other thing, and this is, I think, the biggest improvement. Look how smooth my character runs around. He can look everywhere instantly, and I just think it's a huge improvement, and it's I've been playing with the slow controller forever, and I just think it's going to be a huge advantage. So some of the other things I want to talk about on this controller, which I think give it a huge advantage over regular Xbox controllers, and would give you as a player a huge advantage over people using these controllers, is on this controller it comes with 2 PlayStation joysticks, 2 Xbox joysticks, and the PlayStation D-pad. And not only can you replace an Xbox joystick with the PlayStation joystick, you can move them around. So if you prefer the PlayStation configuration to where both of the joysticks are on the bottom of the controller, you can do that and then put the D-pad on the top. I prefer to have the PlayStation Dome stick as the shooting on the like the shooting stick for the bottom right, because I think it's a lot smoother shooting. It's a lot faster. I think the Dome gives you a little better handle on where you're aiming, and I like the flat Xbox just for moving your character around. I didn't change the D-pad because I like the Xbox D-pad, but if you prefer a button D-pad, you can just replace the Xbox D-pad with the PlayStation D-pad, which gives you more of a button feel. So I think that's also a huge advantage, where if you can get used to playing with the PlayStation configuration or just the Dome stick, it gives you a big advantage, I think, in aiming, because it's a lot smoother playing with a Dome stick. Another thing I like about this controller is the finish on the back of this controller is kind of in a I don't want to call it like a leathery feel, but it's coated in a feel that's going to prevent you, if you're someone who sweats, like their hands get sweaty while they're playing. I don't do that, but I know a lot of people do. Or if the plastic feel of a regular Xbox controller makes you feel uncomfortable, the back of this controller is completely coated, and the front is not coated, but your fingers are really touching the buttons and the joysticks on this controller. So I think that's another big advantage over regular Xbox controller users. And on the front it comes with, you can have like a shiny look, or you can have a matte kind of look, and you can you can swap those in and out based on your personal preference. I just left it as it came because I don't really care about that. Another thing I like about this controller is, on regular Xbox controllers, the wires tend to become tangled up and loose, and they a lot of times the wires eventually become damaged, or they become coiled up, or it's just creating a big mess. This controller actually has a magnetic screw-in device, which you can unscrew your controller and screw it into a kind of a magnetic rope, which is going to tie into your controller. And so when you're done playing, you can just unscrew your controller, put it up, and just leave the cord in if you want, or even wrap up the cord. I know if you're someone who goes to events or plays MLG events, this is a big deal because you don't like wrapping and unwrapping your controller all the time. Another good thing about this controller is the back of it comes with the a weight kind of set. Like the default it comes with is the just like a wireless controller, which is where it's got the bump on the back and two weights inside. You can take out one weight, or you can take out two weights and leave the bump, so it's weightless. Or you can bring in like a one weight and take out the other one, which is half the weight, or of a I guess a wireless controller. And if you leave both the weights in, it's the same weight as the wireless controller, it feels like. I remove both weights, and it comes with a flat skin, like a flat back. So if you play with a wired controller, which I would suggest you do, because if you didn't know, the wired controller has faster reaction time to an Xbox, and I just like the weightless feel. So if you prefer with weightless feel and not having the bump in the back like the wireless controller, you can just put in the flat surface. Or if you if you like the wireless controller but you want to have it weightless, you can take out both weights and leave the bump in there, so you still have the bump, so it's nothing you're not comfortable with. I also think the like the triggers on this controller are a little faster, not like a big deal faster, but they just look to me a little smaller, so they're quicker to shoot. And obviously, because of the no slow turn, your character and your shooting is going to be a lot faster to react. And so you might have to adjust your sensitivity a little bit at first, but I'm sure you'll be able to get back to where you want to play at. I guess there's two things I don't like about this controller. The back and the start button, or I guess the select and the start button, are moved up on this controller to the top right next to the Xbox symbol, which if you play COD or Rainbow, you need those buttons to I guess check the score or check how many people you have alive on your team. And so that can be kind of annoying, but I think it's just something you get used to as you continue to play with the controller. And the other thing I didn't really like about this controller was they give you like a little case for it, but the case is pretty crappy. I mean, it's like a lunchbox you would take to kindergarten. I'd probably make fun of you if I saw you carrying around your like MLG lunchbox controller pack. I think they could have gone nicer with it for the price of this controller, with maybe like the Astro hard shelled case, but that's not really a big deal. But I just want to say I don't get anything for this review. I'm not Mad Catz isn't telling me to say this, MLG's not telling me to say this. I just think this gives such an advantage to a person who has this controller against people who are using these slow turn controllers or even regular Xbox controllers, or even customized controllers, because you can change out how you want your shooting, your joysticks. You can change almost everything on this controller to your own personal preference, even the weight. And I just think it can make a bad player good, or a good player better, or if you're a top level player, you want anything you can get for just a little advantage, and I think this really can give it to you. So I just thought I'd give my review. If you have any questions about the review, if you have any questions about the controller, feel free to leave a comment. If you have something to say, leave a comment. If you want to talk shit, you can leave a comment, and then I'll talk shit back because you're a faggot. But that's it. So subscribe, and let me know if you have any questions or comments, and I'll respond. Thanks.